Hey everybody, just wanted to pop on here and do a brow tutorial for you all. A few of you have asked for how to do your brows, and I'm gonna say to you too, I'm not an absolute perfectionist with brows, but I have slowly been learning and using some of our tools that we have to be able to kind of figure out how to get them done. So one of the first things I'm gonna show you, I wouldn't normally use these on a day-to-day basis, but I will show you, and we have them, is eyebrow stencils. So there's a bunch of different ones. You can kind of pick and choose like what kind of brow you want. So if you want like more of an arch, if you want a smaller, thinner brow, you can kind of put them on and play with them a little bit. And literally you just hold them on and kind of fill them in. It's like a stencil for your brow. So I'll give you a really quick kind of rundown of how you want your brow makeup to kind of, and by makeup, I don't mean like makeup, but how you want it to look. So on the stencils, you don't have to have the stencil to be able to do this, but when you put them on, the lines kind of show you where you want to start and end your brow. So what you want is, you want the edge of your nose all the way up with your brow liner. You're going to do it here, and this is where you want your brow to start. So if you don't have it filled in like this one, I have a little bit extra, so I do a little bit of filling in on this side because my brows aren't the same. Then you want to go from the edge of your nose to the middle of your pupil, so right through the middle of my pupil. And that's where your arch is going to be. So a little bit here in your arch. And I'm still shaping this brow. This one's a little bit nicer to me right now, but I'm working on this one to make it look a little nicer. So middle of your pupil straight on, that's where your arch, where you want your arch to look. And then if you do the same thing from nose to your outer corner, this is where you want your tail to end. So it just kind of gives you a little bit of a basis of how to draw them on. Your eyes and your brows are going to be a little bit different. Some people have like more of a straight brow. Some people have more of the arch. Play with it. It's your brow. You can use a different brow for days and a different brow if you're going out, if you want a bit of a stronger brow or anything like that. But I just thought I would pop on and show you guys quickly how I do my brows. So we have a set. And I absolutely love this. You can do all different kinds of things. So you can use eyeshadows to fill in your brows and use a bit of different dimension. You can use an eyeliner pencil. So we have a couple different ones of like light browns, dark browns, black eyeliner kind of pencil. You can use that to fill it in. I love this. So it comes double-ended. There's like a spoolie on the side that has little kind of fibers in, so you can brush your brows and it kind of lays them nicely and flat how you want them to look. And so they have that end, and then the other end, and I'm real close to the bottom of mine, so I got to order a new one, but it is a twist up, and it is really, really fine tipped. So you can go in and draw little tiny hairs and it works perfect. So what I normally do with my brows is I brush them all up, and then, and I don't know if you're supposed to do this, but this is what I do. I go through with little tiny, like hair scissors, and I trim anything that falls too far out of my brow. So that's how I've slowly been kind of shaping them and getting them to lay flatter and nicer. But before I pencil them in too, I would brush them up. So I do that like maybe once a month. I kind of do a bit of shaping. I pluck and tweeze kind of my little blonde hairs that are there. But first step you want to do when you're doing your brows is brush them out to get them to all lay flat so you don't have any like curlies or kind of crazies or anything. So I have them both flattened now with that spoolie side. And then... sorry, I just need to get it to click here and it's not liking me. I have primer on my hands and they're really sticky right now. So, okay, that's not going to clip on for me right now. Anyways, so I'm going to twist it up. And what I'm going to do to start and how I do my brows is I start lining on the bottom. So I start here and literally you kind of want to go up in a straight line to where your arch starts. So I went up to where my arch kind of started. I have a little bit of a funny arch because I don't have a real strong arch. So then I just kind of follow along my arch and I go down towards my tip. And I just extend a little bit to get started. So I always do my bottom first, then I do my top. And again, I start a little bit farther over. And I use little tiny motions, almost like little hairs that I'm just drawing on and penciling in. So I just do the same thing. So I go up to where my arch would be here. I'm going to give myself a little bit more of an arch than I normally would. And then I come down. And there's the cat outside the door. She wants in because she can hear me in here. So that's kind of what I do. So I do my top, I do my bottom, and then I kind of just go in and fill in. So when you're doing dimensions of your brows, you want actually this part here to be a little bit lighter as you kind of go, and you want your arch to be a little bit darker. So I use a really, really light hand here. You can kind of start your brow how you want. So you can do it rounded, you can square it off, you can kind of play with it. I do mine a little bit more roundy. And then I just kind of fill in with the brow pencil. And I'm going to extend it a little bit. I don't do anything too crazy. And make sure my arch is shaded in good. So that's how I would do the brow. So if you kind of see on me, it doesn't do a whole lot, but it kind of just gives it a little bit of dimension. And then once I'm done this side, I'm only going to do one side for you guys, just so you can kind of see, but I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other side. Then what I do is I take my little spoolie again, and I'm just going to brush it through, and this blends it and lays it all really nice and flat and makes it so you don't have any noticeable lines or anything in your brow either. So I'll go back in and redo my other one after this is done. I just don't want to go on and on for you guys. But so that's the brow. Then the other part that comes, you can buy these two in a set together. You can buy them individually. We have a brow gel, and what it has is it has little tiny fibers in it, and it's almost similar to our mascara. So it has little fibers in it, and it'll actually kind of go in and fill in any sparse areas in your brows and latch on to give you some thicker brows if you need them. The other thing with this too is it is a setting. So if you put it through, it's a bit of a gel and will make sure all your hairs lay flat and then they don't move anywhere throughout the day. So this lasts forever. I've had this for almost a year, and it still works really, really well. So I'll just show you quick. All I do is I just start at my tip and I just brush it through. And because I don't need a bunch of filler, I don't use a whole bunch on my brows. I kind of just use it mostly for the gel and filling in any extras, but literally that's it. And that gives me a way nicer brow, frames my face. And I can tell you this brow looks a lot nicer than this brow. So that's a quick kind of how-to. If you guys have other questions about brows or want to know like different kind of brow shapes or look at different kinds of stencils and stuff for you and what would be perfect for your face shape, let me know too, and I can help you kind of match you up with colors, because we have 3 different shades, 2 of these. So there's a blonde that I use, there's a brown to a dark brown kind of, and then there's a darker kind of brown to a black color. So there's a light, medium, dark, but I can kind of help match your brows up with these 2 products as well. So hopefully that was helpful. Play around with it a little bit and make sure you're following that rule kind of the, so if you can see here now, that's where my brow has ended. I've extended it a little bit just to kind of give me a bit of extra. Another quick tip I'm just going to throw out here really quick too is if you want your brows to look a little bit more lifted, you can do a little bit of highlight underneath here. So don't do it over here, but if you do it here on the end, it'll make it look a little bit lifted and pop a bit more too, and it works really, really well. I do that mostly every day as well, but I just didn't bring the product in here. So hopefully that was helpful. Play around with it, guys, and see if you can get some good brows going, and let me know, reach out if you have any questions. All right, thank you.